Hi, Omega Chaos here again with another online deck profile. At this time, I am showing my Zefra deck, a new Pendulum archetype that ties many of the archetypes from the most recent Twilight Terminal saga together. Of course, it includes 5 different archetypes like Shadows, Necros, Young Sing, Satellite and ritual based. So yeah, very interesting archetype. It can use pretty much all the summoning mechanics, and there are many ways of playing them. You can either focus on a certain archetype and just put the Zefras in, or you can pretty much mix everything together like I am trying to do. So let's go at this deck. First are the Zefra monsters themselves. Two, Zefra Kinyo, a Secret of the Young Sing, which is pretty good because when you Pendulum summon it or it's destroyed in your master card zone or Pendulum zone, you can search for a Young Sing or Zefra spell trap card from your deck to your hand. So it's very good to search out your field spell or your counter trap. So it's definitely very nice, and it's level 6, so very good for synchro plays as well. And it has pendulum scale of 7, and all the pendulum effects of the Zefra monsters are restriction that you can only pendulum summon either Zefra monsters or monsters of their respective archetype. So yeah. Then 2 Zefra Fuxi, Treasure of the Young Thing, which when it's pendulum summoned or present from the deck, you can make one of your Zefra or Young Sing monsters tuner, and when this card leaves the field, if you use that effect, it goes to the bottom of the deck, so you can't constantly abuse it and pendulum summon it again. So yeah, it's definitely a very good card for synchro plays, and summon out your Young Sing synchros as well. So yeah, pretty nice card. It has pendulum scale of 1, so both the Zefras of each of the archetypes have scale 7 pendulum and scale 1 pendulum, so yeah. Then the 2 Astellanite Bell Zefra, which allows you to destroy a face-down spell trap or and one other Astellanite or Zefra card you control in your pendulum zone or master zone, so pretty good. Of course, destroy your opponent's set cards, and it has 1900 attack as well, so it's pretty nice, I think. And then at the Satellite, Zefra 2 of them, which allows you to just destroy a face-up card and one Zefra or Satellite you control, either on your pendulum or master zone, so it's pretty good to destroy face-up card, and it has 2100 defense as well, so it's pretty nice. But I don't run any other satellites in this deck. You could run like Deneb and Altar, but I don't really have any room in this variant. But I do run some other Young Sings and Necros and Shadows, aside from the Zefras themselves. Then 2 Zefra extra, Necros of the Flame Beast, which basically you can summon it from your hand or graveyard when face-up Necros or Zefra cards is destroyed in your master or pendulum zone. So yeah, pretty nice card because it's a pretty strong attack as well. And then Zefra Saber, Necros of the Sword Master, which basically allows you to use ritual zone without actually using a ritual spell, so you can summon out your ritual monsters that way. So it's pretty nice. Then 2 also called Zefra Core, which allows you to spell summon a Zefra from your pendulum zone when you pendulum summon this card or it is sent to the graveyard. So yeah, pretty nice. And then Shesodol Zefra Naga, which allows you to basically target one card in either place pendulum zone and return it to the hand. So not really that great, but I just run it at 1, just another Zefra card. Then Valor Ritual Beast, Tamer Zefra Pileka, which allows you to spell summon a Ritual Beast or Zefra monster from the graveyard, but you have destroyed in end phase. So It's pretty good, but unfortunately it's not really that useful in Zefras because, of course, since it's a Pendulum based deck, most of the Zefra monsters go to the extra deck when they are destroyed or used as a synchro summon for a synchro summon. So yeah, it's not really that useful. If it's summoned from the extra deck as well, then it will be a lot better. And then one Necritual Beast Tamer Zefra 20, which allows you to get the face of Zefra from our extra deck to your hand. So yeah, it's pretty nice to cycle some of your monsters if you need to use them from the hand. But also I just run it at 1 because it's not really that great. Then the other monsters aside from the Zefras themselves. First, 3 Shotwood Darkness of the Young Sing, basically for synchro rallies, and yeah, which are really good to summon out many of your synchros. And then one Necros of Trishula, just of course to summon out with by using a Zefra Saber and to get it out by debuting your Zefra Kinyu and any of your level 3s, or by tributing any of your level 4s and Zefra Exa. So it's yeah, pretty good card, very powerful. Of course in the Necros deck it's not that easy to summon in this deck. Actually before I tried to use this deck with Necros of Sophia, but that unfortunately became too difficult. I could never actually summon it. Sophia probably requires her own variant, so you can basically use more Necros monsters like Valkyrios protect your field, so you can next turn use the Necros of Sophia's effect. And yeah, like that. Then 2 Necros of Brionac, of course search out your Necros Zefras or Trishula, so yeah, pretty nice. And then the Stalls, Shuttle Dragger to destroy any of your point spells and traps. And Shuttle Hedgehog, which are search for Shuttle monsters or flip effect, get the Shuttle spell or trap. So that was the monsters. Of course, you kinda have to run quite a lot of monsters, so yeah. Then of course the field spell, Oracle of the Zefra. When you activate it, you can search for any Zefra monster from your deck, so it's very good by itself already, but it gains you can get extra effects when you either ritual summon, fusion summon, or sync summon, or exist summon. So when you summon a ritual monster, you will shuffle one monster on the field to the deck. Fusion monster, you play summon one monster from your hand. Sync monster, you choose one monster and put it at the top of the deck, so you can get it. And exist monster, you draw one card and discard one card. So a very good field spell. You can of course search it up with Zefra Kinyu. It's very easy to search it out. Before I used Terraforming, but discovered it's not really necessary at all. Then of course 2 Shuttle Fusion, because of course I use the Shuttle aspect in this deck as well. It's very especially good if your opponent uses a deck that focuses around the extra deck, so, but yeah, otherwise it isn't as good. That's why I don't run 3 of this card in this deck. Then of course the staples, Nash, Drill and Raigeki, and not really much room for MSTs or anything like that. Then traps, two of the counter trap, the final Zefra Assault. You basically banish one face-up Zefra from the extra deck, then you can negate anything, spell, trap, or monster effect. So very powerful card, but I only run 2, not 3, because it can be sometimes a third card in the beginning of the game, and yeah, you don't really sometimes want to banish your Zefras from the extra deck, because then of course you can't Pendulum summon them. So, and it's usually searchable with Zefra Kinyu as well, so yeah, I think 2 is enough. Then 2 Echo Oscillation, of course, just to yeah, replace your scales, because you really want to sometimes activate a different Pendulum and also get extra draws and discourage your opponent from hitting your Pendulums with MST or anything like that. So it's very good in here as well, aside from normal Pendulum. So yeah, then the other taps, Swallow Morning, Composite Cushion Twice, bottom star pole, a fire Mirror Force. Mirror Force has become quite good in this format, at least against Necros and all that, and some players into as well. Then the extra deck space is pretty tight, So then first Shuttle Fusions, El Shuttle Shekinaga, very good card. And of course, you might not have the Shuttle card in your hand to activate its effect, but yeah, it's still a very powerful card because it has 3000 defense as well. Then El Shuttle Anima Lily, which is a very powerful card against Necros. El Shuttle Construct, of course, very good. And El Shuttle Winda. Then the Synchros. Synchros are pretty much the most important aspect of Zefras. I think you're going to the most common summoning mechanic you're going to use in this deck aside from Pendulum summoning. So first is Khaos, Legend of the Young Things, very powerful card. Basically locks down your opponent's monster effects depending on the attribute of the Young Thing monster you used for the this card synchro summon. And when it's destroyed, you can search for any tuner from the deck. Most is, of course, it's going to be Chato. And yeah, very good. Then Baxia, Brightness of the Young Thing. Of course, you can also summon this card in this deck. Either with, of course, Zefra Fuxi, because you can make one of your other Zefra monsters tuner. And then this is a non-tuner, so this only requires one tuner and one or more non-tuner worm type monsters, so the tuner doesn't have to be a worm type. So yeah, very good. You can either bounce one card if you use Fuxi, or two cards, and if you use Chiato and Zefra to summon this card, so very nice. Then Star Tiger, Protector Pendulum scales pretty much. Yossi, Year of the Young Thing, of course, very good card in this deck as well. Cleaving Dragon, of course, very powerful card. Metaphors Horus, because it's a Pendulum based deck, of course. Then Goyo Guardian, finally Armada's Keeper of Boundaries. Then the Exist monsters, you don't want to Exist summon that often in this deck, but if you need to, you can definitely do it. Of course, Dark Reborn Exist Dion, Costas, Skyblast Musketeer, and Cowboy. So, this was my Zefra online deck profile. I definitely really like this deck. I'm not really a fan of many of the archetypes individually, like Necros and Stoll. I do really like Young Thing and Ritual Beast, but I'm not really into Satyr Knights much either, because I think they are also a little bit overpowered, like Necros and Stoll. So, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile. For now, goodbye and Khaos out.